Hola, bienvenidos al primer episodio de Entre Risas y Recuerdos.
Somos Maria y Ryan, two best friends, listos para compartir con ustedes nuestras pláticas más sinceras, divertidas y, claro, un poco locas. Hoy vamos a reír, reflexionar y recordar.
Así que pónganse cómodos, agarren su cafecito, su vinito, lo que tengan cerca y acompáñenos en esta plática. Esto es Entre Risas y Recuerdos. Para comenzar, ¿quiénes somos y por qué decidimos grabar nuestras pláticas?
Bueno, como ya estamos recordando y chismeando, mínimo que alguien escuche y se identifique. Yo soy Ryan y nací en las afueras de Los Ángeles. Soy uno de 4 hijos de papás inmigrantes que emigraron de México a Estados Unidos. Crecí la mayoría de mi vida en la ciudad de Los Ángeles, en una comunidad que se llama Watts, que es donde yo y María nos conocimos. Y desde entonces, pues, cuando nos conocimos, pues no éramos amistades, pero ya después se fue haciendo una amistad. Y somos de primera generación, we're first generation kids here in the US, so we could relate a lot on that front, basically. Mis papás son de México, como ya lo había mencionado. Mi papá es de una ciudad que se llama Tepatitlán, las afueras de Guadalajara. Y mi mamá es de Tijuana, que está en la frontera y es súper cerca de donde hoy vivo. Vivo en la ciudad de San Diego, que me queda como 15-20 minutos de la frontera, básicamente. Y pues sí. ¿Y tú, Lolita? María, pues todos la conocemos como Lolita, sí, pero su nombre legal es María.
María Dolores.
Por eso. Ajá.
No, pues sí, pues como él dice, yo me llamo María Dolores. Todos me dicen Lola o Lolita. Y pues, como dijo Ryan, yo me crecí en Los Ángeles, California, en Watts. Ahí estuve hasta que me casé. Ya cuando me casé, nos fuimos a vivir en Signal Hill, que viene siendo Long Beach. Uh-huh. Y de allí, mi esposo y yo nos movimos para Tennessee. Uh-huh. Y es donde estamos ahorita. Yes. Yo creo que pues también es bueno mencionar que por eso es que decidimos grabar nuestras pláticas, porque pues él vive en San Diego, yo en Tennessee, uh-huh, y pues esto nos da una razón para vernos, ¿no?
Ya, también, sí, claro, y pues así pues ya estamos chismeando y por qué no compartirlo con el mundo.
Y
para nuestros five views.
That's something. Pero es más bien para nosotros, ¿no? Digo yo.
Sí.
Y sí, pues yo soy uno de 5 hijos. Uh-huh. That's how you say, yeah. 1 out of 5. Mi mamá es de Honduras. Mi papá es de Sinaloa, México. Mi mamá es de la frontera de Honduras, pero pues nunca conocimos ahí. Mi abuelita, cuando estaba viva, en paz descanse, vivía en Choloma, en Honduras. Entonces ahí conocemos. Pues ya ahorita no hemos ido, como ya no está mi abuelita. Uh-huh. Y sí, pues como dijo Ryan, nosotros nos conocimos en Watts. Nos conocimos porque íbamos a la misma escuela, pero desde el principio los dos éramos monaguillos. Uh-huh. Y ahí fue como nos conocimos. Yo digo que la primera
church, yeah,
vez que nos conocimos. Y ya cuando él ingresó a la misma escuela que nosotros, que yo y mis hermanas, ahí fue cuando la amistad comenzó a crecer.
Uh-huh. Nos conocimos en la iglesia siendo monaguillos, porque mis papás empezaron a ir a San Lorenzo, que viene siendo la parroquia donde van mis papás. Uh-huh. Iban. Iban porque nos movimos a San Diego, pero ya empezamos ahí como monaguillos y pues yo siempre estaba ahí con mi mamá decoraba la iglesia. En un grupo, pues no grupo, con otras señoras, pues, uh-huh, de ahí mismo, de la comunidad de la iglesia. Y decoraban como para Navidad, hacían flores para bodas, uh-huh, y así. Y pues siempre yo estaba con mi mamá porque pues no tenía niñera y yo siempre estaba con ella. Y pues de ahí fue aprendiendo también, porque luego después ahí andaba yo de chismoso, ahí metido, ¿no?
Como siempre.
Como siempre. Pero sí, luego ahí fue donde íbamos a la misa y todo. Y creo que nuestros papás se conocieron antes de que nosotros nos conociéramos, pues estábamos chicos. Y yeah, that's when we would see each other at like church stuff, basically, uh-huh, for the beginning of it. And then after that, I ended up going to the same school where you already went to. And creo que pues más bien fue porque I think nuestros papás hablaban y eran amigos, mi mamá y la mamá de Lolita. Y entonces pues así fue como le dio la idea, deberías de meter a tu hijo a la escuela, muy buena escuela, que no sé qué. Y así. Pues yo creo, no estoy seguro, but I'm almost 100% sure that that's how it happened. Because otherwise, like, why, you know? Someone had to influence that somehow. I don't know. And your mom was always there, my mom was always there, basically.
No, y pues nosotros, nos metieron a esa escuela porque pues vivíamos en los proyectos. Entonces mi mamá tenía miedo que si íbamos a escuelas públicas nos íbamos a arruinar o que íbamos a salir embarazadas. Y pues también mis hermanas estaban en una escuela pública y tuvieron muchos problemas. Y por eso fue que mi mamá decidió, no, sí, mejor las voy a meter a escuela católica. Y yo digo que a lo mejor sí, porque a todos les decían, oh, no, la escuela católica es mejor.
Yeah, especially pues más en la comunidad, pues porque Watts pues es un vecindario, ay, la vecindad, ¿no? Pero pues es the hood, the ghetto, you know, everyone considers like, oh, it's the ghetto, it's the hood or whatever. And yeah, public schools aren't the best because they don't get as much funding, obviously, as other schools in better neighborhoods and stuff. So that's a big part, especially like 80s, 90s, you know?
Yeah.
So, that's what my parents were concerned about too. Because obviously I'm the youngest of four. So they saw like the difference because my siblings all went to pretty much public school. I was the only one of all of them to go to private school. I think that was a big influence, you know, like once they're like in the neighborhood and stuff, and they're like, oh no, like my kids are going to be safer. It's going to be better for them to go to a private school. And I think it is true because it exposed us to different worlds, especially the school we went to, because they had like American martyrs. So you get to meet people of other cultures, and other cultures, American culture, basically, because otherwise you don't meet people outside of your community. You know, it's all Hispanic, Latino, Black. So it's like you don't meet any other races within that bubble, you know. Maybe Asian here and there, but that was like because they owned all the liquor stores, and Indian, they all own all the liquor stores in the hood and all the fucking little, can I cuss? Yeah, we can cuss. All the little shops, you know, they owned them, and the donut shops and stuff, which is true. That's the only reason why, that's the only way.
I'm thinking, I'm like, I don't think I saw any Asians, but now you said
the donut shops.
Or like always. The Hong Kong Express.
Yeah, the Asian restaurants. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, literally. Oh my God, it's so good. But yeah, literally, it was always, that's the only time you're in the businesses. You never saw them living there though, which is very crazy, but it's true. And like obviously like gangs and drugs around, but it wasn't, I don't know, I feel like when I was growing up it wasn't as bad. I mean, it was,
I feel like
when we were little it was. Now it's not as bad.
No, because I remember growing up, especially in Nickerson Gardens, like every other week there was they would steal. They would do like drive-bys. And it was always something going on. Like we would have lockdowns, like a lot of lockdowns. And then I remember like once I went into high school, como que it calmed down a lot.
It chilled out.
Yeah.
That's true. And then there was a lot more police presence, I would say too, which was nice. Yeah, because even, I mean, we live, 5 minutes from each other, maybe like... Because we're right at the intersection of the 105 freeway and the 110.
Off of Imperial.
So you're over here, and I was closer to Century Boulevard, which basically they intersect in a big square, and that's like that little area, whatever that mileage is. We're like literally 5 minutes from each other, but it was different. It was different and not because, I mean, I lived in front of a grocery store and shit would always pop off right there, and we'd go on, they'd have the helicopters going around too and stuff. So yeah, it was a little crazy. That is true.
I remember that one day my mom nos dejó solitas, and we were older too. I think we're like 12, 13 years old. And she went to go do a vuelta, so she was like, oh, do you guys want to go? We're like, no, we're going to stay. Y como que siempre vigiaban to make sure people were at the house. Y como miraron que mi mamá salió, usually we would all go. And this time, like, we didn't go, we stayed. And I remember that... one thing my mom did say was like, oh, like you always have to be friends with your neighbors por cualquier cosa. she would always befriend the neighbors. Like, les mandaba su platito de comida, o sea, si hacía algo, siempre los invitaba.
She still does that.
Yeah,
crazy.
to this day. And our neighbor was, she was a morenita. She was really cool, you know, like, she would talk to my mom. My mom would be, le decía, oh, I'm going to leave the girls by themselves. We can keep an eye on them. And it's funny because usually most of our neighbors were always morenitos, and she always found a way to communicate.
And she didn't speak any English, a lick of English. I mean, now better, like, they understand your mom and my mom, but yeah.
And that day, le dijo la morenita, oh, like, I'm gonna go to the store, I'll be back fast. And I think she went to, like, Food for Less, which is, you know, down the block or whatnot. And I remember que my sister, she heard something in one of the rooms, and she was like, what the hell? And that she went to go look, y ya cuando miró, había un morenito, like, halfway inside of our apartment already. And so she started screaming. Oh my God, crazy. And we're like, oh, you know, we all got scared. And then he was like, oh, is your mom home? And my sister pretended like, alguien se le prendió el foco, you know? And she was like, Mom! And she yelled for my mom. So then he got scared and he hopped off the window. So the thing was, like, you know how there's, like, the little deck over the window? No,
like a little ledge.
Yeah, so he got up through there, and he was already halfway into the apartment. And so because the neighbor heard that we started screaming, she goes outside through the front, and she watches him hop off. Y le dice, like, who are you looking for? What do you want? And he's like, oh, no, it's because I thought my friend lived here, like, trying to play it off. Porque miró que, like, oh, like, everyone was alert. Mm-hmm. And so then, like, he had, I remember, like, tenía un big lunar in his face. So it's, like, something noticeable, like, you know, right away, oh, that's him.
And they're showing their face.
Yeah. And we still see him through the projects, like, you know, when we go.
Crazy.
And so then we called my mom, and she came home. We called the cops, and we did a report. But they never did anything.
Yeah.
Because it
was back in the day, yeah.
And that's one thing she always told us, like, oh, like, you always have to, like, befriend your neighbor, know your neighbor, because te pueden sacar de apuros, you know?
Something happens.
And then I was like, okay, and now, like, I think it's come down a lot, because I think after that, I don't think we had another, like, break-in attempt.
Yeah, no.
Oh, but then also my mom put the bars all over the house.
Oh, that's true.
The rejas?
The rails.
Yeah, and she did, like, my parents did that out of their own money. It's not from, like, the projects, you know, like, they did it themselves. Because a lot of apartments would get breaking into si no tenían the rejas.
Yeah. Well, that's where, like, those come from. Everyone says, oh, the hood. You know, you're in the hood when they have, like, the rails on the window. And
she has them inside, not even, like, on the outside.
Yeah, they're, like, bars that go on the... Yeah,
because I think on the outside, they would say, like, they could get scissors and cut them.
Yeah, they just break them off.
Yeah.
Because they're, like, plastered in. It's because son de cemento las paredes, de bloque. Like, como estilo México, ¿no? Son de puro cemento, bloque. So, yeah, they can pry them out.
Yeah, so we put them, like, on the inside. Mm-hmm. Then every time, like, you know, like, they do, like, the inspections, my mom would be like, oh, like, you can't have that. Le decían, like, that's a fire hazard. And Mom's like, well, I don't care.
Yeah, like,
so it was to the point she used to fight with them. Now ya no le hizo nada.
Yeah, they don't care. Mm-hmm. That's good at least. Crazy. Yeah, it's funny because that we got broken into... I mean, one time when we were like, our house before, you saw it as a duplex, but before it was just one little house in the front.
Yeah.
So basically, like, it's like this 2-story house in the back wasn't there. It ended where like, basically where that, you remember there was, like, a second gate. We had, like, the entryway gate, and then there was a second gate to get into, like, where our patio was in the back. So that was never there. It used to be like a garage, a 2-car garage all the way in the back. Mm-hmm. And that was like a little studio that my dad rented out. Yeah. And we lived in the main house, but the main house was only 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. So then when we were all older, there was 4 of us, and then my mom, my dad. And it's funny because this one time I was little. I remember being very little. And I don't know why. I think my dad was renting the room to my aunt, his sister or whatever at the time. And then
favorite aunt?
Yeah, my favorite. Tea, story for another day, cause girl. But yeah, so we, they were renting that room. I think that's what it was. And then Ruben and Gloria, my brother and his ex-girlfriend, had our room, mine and Liz's room, which is like the little room off the living room. Mm-hmm. And the layout was a little bit different. So you'd walk in, it was the sala first. And then it was the rooms, basically the room and then a little hallway to the bathroom and the other two rooms. And that was my parents' room, like towards the back. And I remember they broke in and me and Liz were sleeping in the sala. Like full on, everyone was sleeping in the house. I don't know how they broke in, but someone broke in because I remember we're laying there and we're like, I was already knocked out, but then I woke up because I heard noise and I like have the blankets over me.
Yeah.
And I remember like, well, I'm on the couch like this and the door's right there. They literally came in and out the front door. And I didn't say, I was so scared. I didn't say anything. Or... I think they went in, they saw that everyone was home and they just left. Whoever was left.
God,
I just remember seeing like a shadow because it was so dark. And then on our street, there wasn't, like, the grocery store was there, but I think before it used to be like a Pick and Save or some other grocery store. They didn't have the bright ass lights they had now. You know, those they didn't add until a couple years after.
Did anyone else wake up or it was just you?
I think Liz did end up waking up, but we both stayed quiet. So once they left, we both got up. I remember we both got up and went to my parents' room and were like, oh, someone was in the house. So my dad was like, what the fuck? So they woke up and they started looking and yeah, they didn't take anything because we were there, sleeping literally.
Oh my God, pero lo bueno que no les hicieron nada a ustedes.
Yeah, literally, like, I was like, what the hell? I think they were just, you know, trying to see, because, you know, like, that's the thing, you have to leave your porch lights on and stuff so they know you're home type thing.
Exactly.
And I think we didn't even have that.
Oh, like, when we would go out, she would always leave, like, the sala light on or one of the room lights on.
So they think you're there. Yeah, exactly. That's so true, though. Crazy, yeah, I remember that. And then that was like... I was already at St. Lawrence. No, I don't think I was at St. Lawrence yet. That was before. I was little. And then after that, they end up. I think we had bars on the windows too on that house. But then when they remodeled both houses, so they took the bars off of everything. And then we didn't have bars for a couple of years after they built the duplex because it was all brand new windows and stuff. So we didn't have bars, and they broke in like I want to say 2 times, and then my dad was like, "No, fuck this. We have to put bars on the windows," and they put the bars on the window.
You guys are like right in front of Superior.
Yeah, so always people there. Yeah, and then my parents, we had the maña that they would, you know, we'd go to San Diego because all my mom's family was in San Diego. So like on the weekends, especially when when grandma was alive, we were either or my grandparents, my dad's side, we would be in Inglewood at their place, or we would be out in San Diego. So we'd leave and the house would be alone. But we think honestly, like both times it was interesting because it was like they already knew where all the valuables were. So we've always had the suspicion that someone in the family did it. Because all these years, they had one time when I was little that they broke in, that was the only other time. And then those 2 times, and that was like right after they built the house and made it look all nice. And they knew like where the money was, where everything was. So it was like jewelry and everything. So then even my parents always thought like, oh, someone that we know probably.
And then like cabal que sabían que no estaban ustedes.
Exactly, and they knew it was on the weekends we weren't home. So like one time I think we left and we came back from I think it was a weekend in San Diego or something like that, or Tijuana, whatever it was. And we come back and then you just find like the house had been ransacked, but then they didn't take anything, like the TVs, everything was there, but they like went through everything supposedly. But it's like, okay, but then like all the valuables were missing, and the valuables that were hidden, or like where my mom would keep them like in the 3rd drawer down, hidden in the back, all the stuff was gone. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? You know, like interesting, like little shit like that. And the second time, the same thing, but the second time, no se llevaron nada. Like they didn't make a mess. They just took what they knew what they were gonna take, and that was it. And they left.
That's funny because kind of the same thing happened to us, but it was like it had to be alguien que visitaba because my mom always had visitas. And it wasn't like, oh, they came in and they took stuff. It was like somebody visited us, but we don't know who, because she would have so many fucking visitas. And I remember que my dad me había dado una esclava, and it had my name, and it was really thick. And he even put like Maria Dolores Lopez, you know? And it's like, okay, like why would you want that, you know? But it was like really thick. And my mom me la tenía guardada, and like I had a lot of rings. Me habían dado for my quinceañera, like they gave me 2 rings, and then my dad had given me another one. Point is like I had a ring for every fucking finger. Everything was like put away. My mom would put it in a chinero, like in a Ziploc bag. And then one day, like I was going out to a party or something, y le dije, oh, like me los das, you know, because I think
It was like a year after quinceañera season, right?
Yeah.
I remember when this happened too. And because we were already friends by then.
Yeah, and I was like, I think we were going to party because obviously, like, I wasn't going to wear it every fucking day, you know, because I literally had a ring for each finger. No sé si te acuerdas.
Yeah, I remember you would always have rings on.
Yeah, and I told my mom, oh, like, where's my jewelry? Y yo se la daba a ella que me lo guardara because I was like, oh, like, if ella me lo guarda, I'm going to have it there, you know?
Yeah, she knows where to hide it. And I was
always, like, really responsible. Like, I would lose things. So I was like, okay, like, can you give me my stuff? And when she went to go look for it, where she had it was gone.
Damn, so someone that knew.
Yeah, she has, like, her suspicions. Because, you know, there's people that she knows que sí son rateros. And she's like, oh, like, so-and-so came this day. Pero, pues, I'm like, if it's, like, a suspicion, like, you can't
prove it.
Yeah, you have it.
You just have to get smarter and hide your shit better, apparently.
So I tell my mom, like, you owe me. Like,
yeah, literally.
You know, but... That's crazy.
Yeah, shoot.
And be your own kind sometimes.
Your own people. People that you know. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so it's like, oh, you know, but... I mean, what can I do now? Like, I'm not gonna fight for them, you know?
I mean, yeah. And then I think after the second time they robbed us, I think I was already, I was already in St. Lawrence, and that's when my dad got the Tahoe. And then my dad's like, no, we need to get a security system. So we had ADT for a long time, like when they were like on the, so we had it all installed. And yeah, you needed a code to go in and out. And I think they did break in once with the alarm system. And because we were in the duplex, we lived in the back one because it was the 2-story one, and the front one was just, you know, the one we rented out all these years. And we didn't have, I don't remember having, we had the ADT thing in the front because we had palm trees before. I remember you going, because you came over a couple times before they got rid of all that.
I like the palm trees.
They look nice, huh? I don't know why they got rid of them, honestly. It's so random, but I don't know. I think because they were getting too big, or I don't know why they got rid of them. At first, I think they wanted to get rid of the grass. Because we had like a patch of grass, but then the tenants let it dry out because that was like their patio. It was all
brick,
and it was dirt, and they put brick over it. But yeah, point is, where was I going with the story?
The ADT.
Oh yeah, we had ADT, and then the alarms went off, and I was coming back from school with my mom, and we had little Maltese dogs at the time, like before we had our dogs now. And oh my god, we get home and all you hear is the alarms and the police like on the street, like, and we're like, what happened? Like, this is our house. And they're like, oh, I guess someone tried to break in. Go in and make sure that we went in, there was no one there, no one's in your house. She's like, but yeah, they had broken like the thing. And then you remember we had a gate in front, like in the back of our duplex, we had a little porch, and where that little entrance was, we put that's when we added that gate. So now you had the gate door to go in, and then like, because we couldn't put a spring on the frame that we had technically, because it's like a wooden frame or whatever. So they just put it like a whole ass extra door in front of the main door of the house, because they went in there and they broke it, they pried it open, and then because it's in the backyard, no one sees you in the back, and we didn't have cameras, we just had the alarm system. But yeah, at least, and they showed up, so it worked. And yeah, we went in, my mom checked, and they hadn't taken anything. My dad got home, and then no, they hadn't taken anything.
Wow.
And ever since then, never did anything. And then that's when we put that gate in, and then a couple years later, they put the other gates in the backyard, like to get to the back area of our house. And on the side gates, because sometimes homeless people would go back there randomly, vagos and stuff.
Oh, because you had the alley there too. I remember that.
So they would just come in and jump over the neighbors' walls to get into your backyard. It was crazy. That was that was ghetto right there, girl. And then it sucked because it's a grocery store. It was good and bad, because there was always people there, but bad because also it attracted, other people, crackheads that you don't want around,
I remember, but for us, it was kind of like, for me especially, growing up in the hood, like, I wasn't scared of like crackheads, the homeless, because
you weren't scared like to walk by.
And then also like, because we lived right off of Imperial, so you would always hear like the sirens, los moritos con su música bien alta, and it was almost like, oh, I couldn't sleep unless I heard those sounds, like comfort, you know?
That's true.
And then when we moved to Tennessee, le digo yo a mi esposo, like, the first night, I could hear my heart beat in my ears. I swear to God.
Because it's so quiet.
It's so fucking quiet.
That is true.
And I was like, and even when we lived in Signal Hill, you know, we were off of Cherry Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
So it was also like a main
lot of traffic,
street, a lot of traffic. So we would hear the cars, the sirens. It was the same thing, but except like you wouldn't hear the music or anything, but there was always some kind of noise, you know? And so then when we came here, I told Nelson, I'm like, oh, it's too quiet. I don't like it. And he starts laughing. He's like, no, like, that's how it's supposed to be. And he's like, tú te vas a acostumbrar. I'm like, okay. And then I remember we were here for 3 months, and then I had to go back to California because of work. Y cuando fui, and I could hear like the sirens and the hood being active.
Crazy. Yeah, you're like, oh my God, overstimulated.
I couldn't even sleep. Like, I was up all night tossing and turning.
Damn.
And I told my mom, like, oh no, like, I can't sleep here. Like, I want to go back home. And she was just like, ay, ya bien delicada, you know? And I'm like, girl, it's not like
But
that.
Yeah,
me acostumbré. And then also, I remember when we went you guys did the baby shower for Madison?
Oh, yeah, in LA. Mm-hmm.
Girl, the first night that we got there was a drive-by. I was...
Girl, and you were pregnant as well.
I was like, oh my God. And you know how fucking big I was? And my mom, like, she gave us the room downstairs. So it's like right by the window. And they were like shooting right by there. And I got scared. The first thing I did was like, I just like hunched over and like, I'm like, don't, you know, fucking get my baby.
Like,
and that's
get
like,
me out.
He's like, oye, qué bienvenida nos dieron. And then we kind of laughed it off. But I was scared. I'm like, and antes, like, I wouldn't even care, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that's
remember, true. I don't know if you were at St. Lawrence when they had the drive-by. And we were outside playing in the yard.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I remember that.
Everyone was just playing, like, we were so unfazed to it, you know? And now I was like, oh my God, a fucking drive-by. And,
I think you're getting used to it. Because, when I went down, I think your baby shower was the first time I actually went down to LA after we moved from San Diego.
Yeah.
So then we went back. And even my mom's so funny. She's like, you know, because they lived there basically since they freaking moved to LA, they stayed in Watson. They never left, you know? And I left. I had my moments of like leaving, you know, for work and stuff and coming back. And they'd always lived there. So then when we moved to San Diego, it's I mean, you still hear a little bit of traffic and stuff. It's still normal, you know. Sometimes helicopters and stuff, sirens, whatever. Yeah. Because it's still pretty busy, but not as bad as LA. Not every night helicopters or like airplanes, because we're right on the landing path for LAX. So you hear all the airplane noise always. So it's like,
especially your house. Like, I remember your house
it's
would
right
like
there.
shake.
We were right there at the land, so you could literally see the planes. And if someone was out looking out, they could probably see you waving at them from there. Literally, that's how crazy it was. I remember that. Yeah. So you always have the noise. So we moved away, obviously, and then that was the first time I went back. And that I want to say it was maybe like 6 months, maybe, huh? Like in between spans, I would say, gauging it kind of. And even my mom was with my aunts who came down for your baby shower. I came down before to help decorate and stuff. And coming back, it was crazy because my mom even said as soon as they got off Imperial off the 105, she was like, oh my God, my aunt like joked around, oh, no extrañas que no sé qué, tú que nunca te querías ir, you know? And my mom was like, ay, no, qué feo está, ya no me gustó acá, no, ya me quiero regresar.
It's true.
I mean, you get used to your environment for sure, and you...
And talking about like helicopters, I've never heard a helicopter here. Ya que dijiste eso, I've never even seen a helicopter here.
Yeah, and ever since I've been visiting you, I don't think I've ever seen a helicopter.
And sirens, I've never heard sirens here.
Or an ambulance. I've never seen an ambulance here.
Well, my neighbor, when I... Sorry. Oh, good. Because I have my neighbor, she's elderly, and Ryan was just asking me, hey, like, no he visto tu vecina. And I was like, I've only seen her 3 times, and I've been living here for almost 2 years now. And I was like, and 2 out of the 3 times is because the ambulance viene por ella.
Literally crazy.
And the thing is, like, through my sunroom, I could see her house and her sunroom, you know? But even when they come, they don't put the sirens because I think she calls when she starts to feel sick.
I mean, girl, what cars are they going to stop? Ain't no cars on the road, bitch.
The cows.
Oh, yeah, literally. They have to go in and push them away.
After I haven't seen, and like I said, the only reason that I've seen is because my dog starts barking as soon as she gets a visitor, because she never gets a visitor. And the both times that I look, they parked the ambulance out here, and they load her through the sunroom. So I see her through my sunroom. I can see her.
Oh,
and I'm just like, oh, okay, they came for her. And the second time was I
being
heard
chismosa.
Always. And the second time, I thought I had a package because I hear like it sounded like a truck, like
a delivery
and
truck.
I was waiting for a package. Y me asomo, and I saw it was the ambulance, and I saw them go to her driveway, and they took her again. But she's doing well, so
she's still there for now.
So yeah.
And so let's get into so you guys have gotten a little sneak peek about our like life, upbringing, and what's and stuff. So like, how do we meet? So now let's talk a little bit of like how we met. I guess what's our origin story? First interaction, I guess, would be us meeting as monaguillos, and then in passing mostly, and then I enrolled in the same school where you went, which is right there. It's a church, part of the church. Yeah. So then I went there, and we're in the same grade, our first fourth grade year, right? And then I flunked, and you went on to fifth grade. So then this is once we were still fourth grade. I think you were in fifth grade at the time.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I don't remember the timeline too well. But I know that you were a grade below me when this happened. Yeah, so
I think I was still in fourth grade because they moved you up to the second floor for fifth, which is everyone thought it was like, oh my god, no, I'm older. It's middle school. I'm going upstairs.
Didn't really care. I was not a scholar during like middle school. I was always like, flunky.
Tremenda.
Yeah, hella tremenda. And I think I flipped the switch when I was in 8th grade. Well, in 5th grade, I was failing math. Ya me habían dicho, like, if you don't pass, you're going to flunk. So then my mom beat the shit out of me and was like, no.
You're not going
to flunk. And I was having a hard time with my timetables. And my dad was really good at math. I think that's where I got, like, he could do cuentas in his head. And then I was like, like, my mom's like, she's flunking. She doesn't know timetables. And I remember my dad's like, no, tú vas a aprender. Y me decía, 2 por 2, 4. And, like, 9 times 9, 9 por 9. I was like, no sé. Sacaba el cinto. He was like, 9 por 9. And then I would be like, so that I would start counting in my head. But that's how I fucking learned my timetables, because he would sit every night in the dinner table, because my dad was good at timetables. He knew all the fucking timetables. So se sentaba en la mesa después de cenar, and he's like, okay, vamos a repasar. And then se sacaba el cinto, and if I didn't know, he would whip me. And bitch, I learned. And
my dad tried, but that didn't work for me.
No, that shit worked for me.
I did not give a fuck.
First of all, my dad
I still don't know my timetables.
And that worked for me because my dad never hit me, And so cuando sacaba la faja, I knew it was serious. Like, I was more scared of my dad than my mom, because when my dad would get mad,
it was cintazos,
it was, like, so okay, my dad was he doesn't get mad. He was really passive, know? And so, so that's why
you take it seriously.
And now I'm fucking accountant. Like, he installed those fucking timetables.
That's true. Crazy.
In my head.
That goes to show, like, you're not born with it. You learn, bitch.
That part.
That's crazy.
And also back to this.
So we're in different grades.
With this man lady.
Señora.
He fucking set me up to get jumped. That's the real tea. Took chismoso ass.
We don't condone violence. However, this is how it happened. This is what happened.
So yeah, like we said before, I would see him because, like, we're monaguillos and whatnot, but we never had a full conversation. It was just a saludo, and we were courteous, and that was that.
Even in school when we were in the same grade, because I don't really remember.
I remember that day, it was recess, and viene este Ryan, he comes up to me and me dice, because, he had his little group of friends that he was with. He was standing with them. Y luego, I think I was playing kickball or like double dutch or something. But the point of the matter was que he interrupted me. And me dice, so there was these 2 girls, and they were sisters, twins to be precise.
Yeah, they were twins.
And they were older than me by 2 years. They're my sister's age, so they were older than me by 2 years.
But they had flunked like twice.
Yeah, so they were in our grade. Yeah, and I never even, I don't remember having anything to do with them, at all.
Yeah, I don't know what beef you guys had. And then if there was beef, it was, really...
It was something stupid. Pero viene y me dice, dicen las gemelas que si no tienes miedo que vayas al baño. Something like that.
Yeah, to meet them in the bathroom.
Yeah, and he's like, and if you don't go, you're a chicken.
I remember telling you that.
I remember that
telling you chicken,
even
actually.
the sass in your voice, I was like...
Not you're a chicken. That se me salió lo gay.
Lo
gay.
And that's when I knew. I was like, this bitch.
Literally.
And I looked at him, and he's like, so go right now. Something like that. So like, I dropped what I did, and I go to the restroom, and I get jumped. Literally, me agarraron de las greñas. I didn't even walk all the way in. You know how there was the little hallway?
Yeah.
And then me agarraron de las greñas. And I was like, fuck, you know, like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay.
Like, oh.
So I guess this is happening, you know? Like, it happened so fast. So pues yo también los agarré de las greñas. And then when the other one saw that, I grabbed one of the sisters by the hair and I shoved her into the restroom. Then she went to go tell the teacher that I was beating up her sister, even though Ryancito set me up. And I was like...
No, but the other one, you grabbed one, shoved her down into the restroom, and like she fell on the toilet, whatever. The other one, you pushed her against the hand dryer, the blow dryers, because it was like the old school white ones. And then remember those bathrooms were like so old. It was like the Tina style that you would walk in, and it was like the porcelain sinks that were like the long porcelain sink. The hard ass thing to get this.
Yeah. And so then she went to go snitch on me, and so they came into the restroom and they broke us apart. Mm-hmm. And I remember it was lunch recess.
Lunch recess, yeah.
Entonces the principal came and they told us that we were going to get expelled. But then my mom was really involved with the school. So when they called my mom's like, no, like don't expel her. Es que ella
La niña se va a comportar.
Yeah, I'll make sure of it. Yo misma voy a hacer que ella se comporte bien, blah, blah, blah. And this was like, I was already flunking too. So it was kind of like everything was adding up. They were trying to make it seem like, oh no, like no tenía remedio.
She's a bad kid, yeah.
Yeah. And with that, what they did was we had a field trip to the IMAX theater. They told us, okay, then you're not going to go to the field trip and you're going to be suspended for 3 days. And my mom was like, fair, you know, that's fair. And then my mom was like, oh, vas a ver cuando lleguemos a la casa, tú vas a ver. Y cuando me decía eso, like, I knew that she was going to hit me. You know, I was like, fuck, I'm going to get hit. You know?
Like vas a ver cuando lleguemos a la casa.
And I remember my dad would get home from work like at 5:30. And because we were at the principal's office for that long, que cuando íbamos a la casa íbamos un tiempo con my dad. And my mom's like, oh, fíjate lo que hizo tu hija. And my dad's like, ¿qué hizo? And my mom's like, oh, se peleó en la escuela. And my dad looked at me and he's like, what happened? And with my dad, I've always felt like I could tell him anything. And my mom was always like super defensive. Si le decía algo, oh, why did you do that? Like right away it was always my fault. And with my dad, he'd be like, okay, like why? So that's the thing, like till this day we tell my mom like, oh, we feel like with my sisters too, we can't tell her certain things porque rápido, like no,
she like has a rebuttal kind of.
You can't, and my dad no, like he always listen y luego te decía, okay, this is what I think. And so I told my dad, I was like, no, es que las morras, yo cuando me metí al baño me agarraron de las greñas, y yo también, y me arrastraron como que si fuera trapeador, you know, me poniéndole de más.
Like,
you know, shit.
Like, save me, please.
And I told my dad, I was like, no, es que fíjate que yo estaba en recreo y Ryan, él me fue a buscar y me dijo que querían que fuera al baño y no sé qué tanto. Y yo entrando, ahí nomás me agarraron, me arrastraron. Y pues no, yo tuve que defenderme. And my dad was like, y eran 2 contra 1. Y yo todavía pregúntale a Ryan, like, you know, like, I'm not lying.
Yeah, because they knew our parents knew each other.
So eventually, like, I knew, okay, like, if they want to confirm, they're going to ask. But my dad nunca me tuvo de mentirosa, like, he believed me, you know? And he was like, oh, no, pues está bien, like, está bien que te defiendes. He's like, porque si no, y después van a tener como su puerquito, you know? And so he was like, más bien me felicitó. And then he was telling everyone, oh, yeah, my daughter got in a fight. He was showing off, basically. She defended herself, this and that. And then he tells my mom, no, por defenderse no la vamos a castigar. And then my mom, like, she didn't say anything. And she didn't even tell me sorry or anything
till this day. Ma'am, I need an apology right now, mother.
Because you were wrong.
And I was right.
Yeah, and then that was, I guess, like our first actual encounter.
Yeah, and you hated me ever since.
Yeah, I did.
Literally. You did not. You could not stand me.
No, it was like fucking.
Because we would always, our parents were always monaguillos.
Yeah.
I think I stopped being a monaguillo maybe like 5th or 6th grade. Mm-hmm. I forced my parents to take me out because I didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And like, no, you're going to keep doing it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And like, I rebelled. And
yeah, I think, I did hate you after that because I was like, this fucking chismoso. And like, you picked your side, bitch. And I wasn't.
Yeah, and it's funny because then I was never really friends with them. No, they were just using me.
To get to me. So
yeah, literally on my beach.
And then I think, after that, yeah, we didn't get close until we started working at Literacy.
Yeah, years later. Because then our parents were friends, and then they'd have like during the summer or like throughout the year, the monaguillos had the trips. You know what it was?
I remember learning ladder. I was in 8th grade when we started getting close. It was that summer.
Oh, yeah. Well, I went 2 years in a row.
And I only went once.
Yeah, you only went 1 year. And I was 7th grade, you were 8th grade. And when I did it in 8th grade again that year.
And I remember because I think tú me dejaste tu iPod or something. And then I gave it back to you. I clearly remember that. And you were, we were going on opposite schedules.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then that's when I was
because I went with Luz.
Yeah.
Luz and some other kid.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like,
then that was Learning Ladder.
Started, like, getting
because they would drive us from St. Lawrence. They would drive us to Learning Ladder. Yeah, that's when we talked more.
So that was 8th grade, and then that was like 9th grade, and then we were already friends by high school. But I think that's what started.
I think that's true. Yeah.
And I was like, wait, no, I remember you had.
Because we would always run into each other. You would always bully me. After I did that,
you got me jumped.
She was like, "You're gay, huh, Brian?" She would literally tell everyone. It was so funny. Now that I talk about it, was so and you know what?
No.
Huh? No. Now that I talk about it, it's funny. It is funny.
I didn't tell everyone. I would just tell you.
But in front of all everyone, because remember, when we were. Oh my God, I remember this one time. So they would make us volunteer. I think, right? Was it like 7th or 8th grade when they would give out the gifts?
Yeah, yes, I remember that. Time. Yeah.
This bitch. She was there collecting her gifts. No, I'm just kidding. We all got gifts there, okay? But
me and my whole ass family.
Oh, with the 10 bags, bitch. Y'all always got a lot of bags too. I think we would get good gifts though. That was nice. I was trying to move this way.
Okay.
But yeah, so the school had a program where like these families would adopt a family at our church and donate bags of gifts, like that were on your wish list or whatever stuff, like for all the kids and stuff. And this one year, I think they had us volunteering, like you would get the number and go run and grab the bags and bring them to the families. And I think you were volunteering that year too, because I remember we were specifically lugging bags, or maybe you were picking up your bags. I don't remember what it was, but you were there, and I was grabbing the bags. I know they would force us to volunteer, so yeah, so I think so. I think it was me, you, Eric, the tall black kid, Eric.
Yeah.
Curry.
Yeah.
Him. It was like the little group, some kids from your class.
Yeah.
I think it was your class.
I don't remember. But I do remember that they made us do hours.
Yeah. So then we were lugging the gifts, and then you're like, "Huh, Ryan, you're gay, huh? Tell them you're gay." You were like, that. Yes. And I was like, I just looked at you like, bitch.
How dare you?
How dare you out me like that? Yeah. But I don't remember I being like sad about it though.
No.
I was like, I'm like, okay, whatever.
No, because I think you were still like closeted.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, because I don't remember that.
I kept it pushing. And then you're like, yeah, you are. And then like that, yes. And I remember I was walking, you're walking too with the gift bag.
Not me outing you while collecting my gifts.
I think you were collecting either that or I don't know what it was.
Yeah, oh my God.
That shit was funny because Lucia remembers the story too.
Yeah.
I wish she was here because we could ask her.
No, I don't remember that. But there's a lot of things that people tell me that I did. And I was like, fuck, like that's fucked up. Like I can't believe I would do that. And I was like,
funny. I mean, it wasn't like bullying, like like.
And I'm like, someone. I was like,
yeah, exactly.
I would be like, damn, I would be canceled today for the things I say. And I was like, damn, like, why the fuck did I care, you know?
I feel like when at that point you're just a teen and you're like,
because even I remember, I think it was 10th grade, where I was like, no, like, you're so gay. And I think you stopped talking to me because I was like, you're gay, Ryan. Like, come out of the closet already.
Was it 9th or 10th grade? No, because I came out 10th grade. That's when I came out.
Yeah, but you stopped talking to me because I told you. Like, I vividly remember that. Like, you were so mad at me that you didn't text me. You didn't talk to me for, like, almost, like, half the year until you came out. And then when you came out, you texted me and you're like, well, you already know this.
Yeah,
but you were so mad because
true.
I think we were hanging out and I told you, like, no, dude, like, you're gay.
Because I was like trying to have a crush on you.
Yeah, and I was
and
like,
then your other friend.
I didn't want to say that, but yeah, like you were coming hard onto me. But I think also because our parents always said like we were gonna end up together.
Oh, well,
and then it was to the point like 9th and 10th grade, like we were always together, where everyone's like, oh my god, they're fucking boyfriend and girlfriend, you know. And they were trying to go out with me, and I was like, Ryan, like you. I was like,
well, we might as well. But it was like, no, like, I remember that.
But it was like, I think, like, I knew you so well by then.
It was like,
and then you were, like, mad at me. And then after you were like, no, yeah, you're right. And then...
dumbass. You can't change it.
And then after that, it was just, like, what we are now. Like, it flourished into something so beautiful. Yeah.
We're besties now. Like, yeah, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was already in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to all boys Catholic school, and you went to all girls school. Everyone thought you were gonna be a dyke.
Yeah.
Ooh, no.
For real, it's true because I remember.
Even you thought for a minute you're like, am I a lesbian? And you're like, no, I'm not.
I think because
I was very asexual.
Yeah, until this day I'm like, oh, like you know what the hell?
Yeah.
It's that because I remember. Like in high school, like, you know, the girls with their boyfriends and very...
Our friends always had boyfriends.
Hormonal.
Always. And then, like, Luz and Emily were always dating.
Yeah, and
most
then
of
to
high
me,
school, and you were like, it was me and you. I was always single, too, because, I mean, I was gay, so who am I going to date?
Oh, but you, too, because when people would hit on me, tú también, bien celoso. And he did that to girls and boys. Oh, let's start there.
Oh, your little friend?
Fuck, what was I going with this?
You had a friend, too, in high school that had a crush on you, remember? What's her face? Two friends.
Okay,
that
keep
were
that
lesbian,
to yourself.
And they had crushes on you. Not crushes, but like, you know, like hard-ons, low-key. And they'd be like, oh, Lola.
And I didn't even,
they're just being nice to me.
Yeah, until you would tell me, and I'd be like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, like when we went to Knott's.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. Not Scary Farm.
Bitch, I would never go to a theme park with you like that again. This motherfucker was using me as a shield.
My guess.
And it was clouds too, and I'm fucking scared of clouds. And I think that's why more people were like, oh, they're definitely fucking dating, because we were like fucking holding hands because I was so scared. But no, then he started throwing me in front of him when the monsters would come.
Hell no.
And I was like, oh my god,
that's
fucking
so
Ryan.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Never again.
But yeah, and then, then it was literacy center.
Yeah.
So after, like, obviously learning ladder, which is like, it's like kind of like a tutoring type of thing where they would take you in, like, to another school and they tutor you. Yeah, that's true. That it is that summer when we became more friends. Then, and then, because I remember, like, Luz being there too. But then that's when we got split up into different times that they would take us and stuff. And then literacy. Once we were in high school, we would volunteer at our elementary school, middle school, to teach kids how to read, phonics, and all that. So we did that, which was nice because we made our own little money. And then, like, then you started driving. Yeah. You were already driving by then, learning how to drive, which is cool too because you would drive us everywhere basically after that. Once you learned how to drive, it was game over. We were never in the house. Yeah. Never in the hood or the house.
We were fucking...
And Downey, Malibu.
And then also when remember they went to Marymount?
Oh,
we were in Palos Verdes, San Pedro area.
For real, we were everywhere, all over LA. It's crazy. The Valley. We had our good times. It was crazy. Yeah.
And now it's like we don't even want to go out.
Oh, yeah, 360. Now we're like, oh, should I be a housewife? TBD.
I like how we're both like, yeah.
It's hard work.
I
know, like, I used to think, like, I'll joke around with my mom, like, oh, you're a housewife, blah, blah, like, you didn't have to work, whatever. And she's like, no, but this is work, like, housework is work, and it's true, it's it's unpaid labor shit, because you're at home, lavando trastes, trapeando, and, like, it's never ending. Like, I don't know how people do it.
Same, like, I thought that was a dream. Like, oh, I can just be at home taking care of my daughter, which you guys can hear in the background right now. And, no, like, I've only been a housewife for, what, like 2 months right now? Since August 1st. Shut up.
She's like...
And I'll try.
Me, please.
Well, I'm supposed to be doing my MBA, and if it's not for like you and Nelson telling me stop, I would be there like,
going ham.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'll settle for a minimum wage accounting job.
Take me.
I'm in need.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, I'm like, okay, but at least when like I was working, and I had Madison. Well, I would go to California, and my mom would help me, and it was kind of like, okay, you know, and I would get a break. And now it's kind of like, fuck, like, no, like, I'm just here all the time.
I know.
And then it's like, and I was telling Ryan, like, it's hard because you don't want to hold the resentment towards anyone. But then you see, like, for men, it's so easy that they can continue the same fucking routine. True. Like, you know, he goes to work, he plays soccer, he can do anything. And as a woman, like, no, like, you prioritize your kid always. Yeah, and you always give up more. So it's kind of like...
Yeah, like it or not. The parent that stays home... For sure. Yeah,
you see, like, right now, she's with her dad, but we can hear her crying.
Struggle is real, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Priorities shift, too. It's crazy. Like, you would have thought, like, out of all our friends, I never thought you would end up, like, married as young as you did. Well, not even that young, honestly. Like, but
I think it was too young. Even for me, I'm like, I could have waited.
I thought it was a good... Well, what is it, 27, 28? You were 27 when you got married?
How old am I?
29.
2022? 3 years ago?
So 3 years. But you
26.
26. Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Damn, but I had Madison at 28.
That's true, 2 years after. Yeah, because she's a year now.
Yeah.
A year old. Oh my God, time flies. It's crazy.
Yeah, I always said, like, I wasn't going to get married and I wasn't going to have kids, and that's the first thing I did.
And now we're going into our 30s and, like, everyone's like,
oh,
at your level. It's at me. I'm like, single as a Pringle, girl. Take me out the camp, please. Mean it.
No. Ya no me vas a visitar después. Period.
Hell no. Yes, I am, girl. Now I have no choice.
Oh, there you go.
See? My co-host.
Period.
¿Con quién voy a chismear? Nadie me conoce
It's so funny because siempre también, like, it's always the same fucking stories, but it's like, wait, but I didn't tell you this. But did you remember
I know,
this?
You remember details and you're going through, you know, like, oh, this happened.
Let's analyze it this way.
Yeah. Así que este fue uno de nuestros primeros recuerdos y un poquito de quiénes somos, de dónde venimos y dónde estamos hoy. Gracias por compartir esta aventura con nosotros. Y si ustedes tienen alguna historia, alguna plática que nos quieran compartir, por favor escríbanos en TikTok o IG o en los comentarios de este video. Y tal vez la compartimos en uno de nuestros próximos videos, ¿no? Yeah, share your stories. So if you were interested in sharing your story with your best friend, or like any core memory that you guys might have or that you might have in your family, go ahead and enter the comments if you relate with anything that we just said. Feel free to put right into us, tell us your story, and we'll be happy to share it. It'd be really awesome, actually, to do a little bit of a segment of like sharing your guys' stories as well.
Or like if you have any questions for us too.
Yeah, anything you want us to answer, or dive deep into, or any topics you want us to talk about. We will fulfill your request, maybe.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we will try.
To our 5 viewers. Oh.
Yeah, 5 million. True. So make sure y'all subscribe, like this video, share it with all your friends. Favor de compartir el video. O sea, go like everything, you know, the bell, everything y'all gotta do to make it happen. Please make it happen. But yeah, we'll be here in a week or so with another video. So thanks for joining us on this first episode. Gracias por compartir este primer episodio con nosotros. Y nos escuchamos. Esto es Entre Risas y Recuerdos.
Bye. Cool. Ya es hora, la bebé no aguanta. Oh.
No aguanta. No aguanta. Ella aguanta.